racing again and doing a nice job as always. Brett Booth, though, solid lap last time by. 16.262 is his fastest, and 16.3, so last time by. So Brett Booth really putting in some good laps at the moment, and we'll wait to see as we get 2 laps to go who's going to take out this heat race. And Jaden Fraser looking to the inside of McIntyre. McIntyre coming under some serious pressure here. Can the Clay Cup winner take out another placing here as white flag comes out for Brett Booth, coming up onto the back of some lap traffic here. It's not going to hurt his chances here of taking this checkered flag, though, as he comes out of 3 and 4. Brett Booth takes out heat number 1 for the modified sprints. Following him, Liam Astle and Craig Cox's old car adjusting to that pretty nicely. And then Harry McIntyre, Jaden Fraser behind him. Then Neil Carey, Gus Dawson, Brad Hinton. Then we'll get Brendan Hopkins, the 94C, across the line with a little bit of drama for Shane Tonkin already. And yeah, Brett Booth going to take this one out tonight.
Yeah, great racing there by Brett Booth. He got away early after all those laps of wheel packing, I should say, and he absolutely cleared away. It was Neil Carey actually holding up the field there for a wee while, but until Liam Astle got that new car of his absolutely flying. He'll be very pleased with his first outing in that. And Jaden Fraser, the Invercargill flyer, started to get a little closer towards the end. So that's the first of the heats here at Speed Week tonight, folks. And it's Brett Booth taking out the first heat of modified sprints at Speed Week. Yeah, some pretty... Grids now. Grid draws now.
Here we go. 5 laps, the distance for the quarter midgets. Ryan Gallagher, Georgia Lewis, that front row. Behind them, Jackson Clark, Taylor Martin. Then Dakota Green and Miller Johnson. In row number 4, Kyler Hinton and Zane Hinton. And then behind them, Jack Brownlee is the first of our fast guys. He sits in the 9th spot, and next to him, Jack Reed. Then Isabel Harris, Caden Simmons, 2 very fast quarter midget drivers who'll be looking to make their way up the field. Then it's Laken Thompson, one of our fast Thompson boys, of course. And then Monika Rawson. And behind Laken in the 15th spot, Cohen Thompson and Brooke Clark. So that's a pretty stellar row there. Behind them, Darcy Rasmussen, Brodie Morris, another good row of drivers there. Bailey Benjamin and Courtney Ashton in the second to last row. And then Isabella Hendry will round off our field.
Yeah, what a great sight this is, folks. Over 20 quarter midgets on the track, and they've certainly proven themselves to be a good, exciting class, and just recently taking out 10-lap feature races up in Nelson and Greymouth. So these drivers are very well conditioned to racing. A little bit of carnage in Greymouth recently, but everyone seems to have got their cars all repaired and up and running. So let's see how this one plays out, Josh.
Absolutely, so keep your eye out. These are the car numbers to keep your eye on. 54C, Jackson Clark. You've got to keep your eye on 23C, Jack Brownlee's, 67 GM, Laken Thompson, and 54 GM, Cohen Thompson, 72C, Brooke Clark, 71C, Darcy Rasmussen, and 62C, Brodie Morris. Those are our real fast group of cars, and they'll be right up the front, making their way up to the podium places. They'll all be duking it out with each other, all very equally compared. So let's see who's going to be the fastest one of them all tonight. Coming through 3 and 4 to start us off. Georgia Lewis, Ryan Gallagher, Green flag flies. Oh, no, doesn't fly this time. So it looks like we've held him a lap early.
Well, that'll give the young kids a chance to get their little heart rates under control, and certainly frightening times for some of the younger kids in here. But as they gain their experience, they certainly know how to drive these cars very well around Ruapuna and other tracks. So it looks like they're about to go here, Josh, and we'll get the first race of the quarter midgets underway for Speed Week.
Yep, about to go this time, and yeah, getting excited ahead of ourselves here. Speed Week does that. Here we go. Green flag. Ryan Gallagher gets a bit bogged down there, and that allows Jackson Clark already to the inside on Georgia Lewis. Oh, that was a bit of a cut-off move there from Jackson Clark. Lewis getting all loose off there. Taylor Martin now coming around the outside on Georgia Lewis, as is Ryan Gallagher. So Lewis getting swallowed up. But here comes Brownlee's on the inside of Simmons. So Jack Brownlee's 23C moving to the inside, and Caden Simmons. Simmons fights back. Caden Simmons switches back to the inside, but no match for Jack Brownlee's, and he storms right around the outside now of Georgia Lewis. Brooke Clark following him there as well. So, yeah, Brooke Clark making her way up to the front already. Darcy Rasmussen looks like he's got a problem in a different car than usual this week. He's running Bailey Bensimon's old car due to some complications with the 71C main car. Meanwhile, at the front, Jackson Clark storming away over Taylor Martin, Ryan Gallagher, and then Jack Brownlee's in fourth, Brooke Clark fifth. Here comes one of the Thompsons. It's hard to tell which one's which because they're both very similar looking cars, and I'm guessing that one is Cohen Thompson, the 54 GM midget, quarter midget, Mike Greer Holmes Nelson Series winner. And it's going to be Jackson Clark still holding on with 2 laps to go, going through 3 and 4 to make it. 1 lap to go this time by. Fastest lap by Jackson Clark so far, a 19.964. So some pretty quick lap times already being set down by these guys as white flag flies. One more time around for Jackson Clark. Following him, Taylor Martin, the young driver from Nelson, putting in some stonking performances lately, and he's going to be one who start consistently fighting at the front with these guys. Ryan Gallagher on his rear bumper and looking to make up some moves in these final couple of corners. Nonetheless, Jackson Clark, he won his first feature last time out, won his first heat last time out, and he's now won another heat in the quarter midget series. Jackson Clark takes out that one ahead of Taylor Martin, Ryan Gallagher, Jack Brownlee's, Brooke Clark, a solid top 5 for her, Cohen Thompson, Caden Simmons, Monika Rawson coming across the line as well, and it's going to be Laken Thompson ahead of her. So great racing from the quarter midgets.
Yeah, great stuff. Jackson Clark, you've come into a real purple patch of form late in the season. And as Josh indicated, it was a first feature race and heat for you the other meeting. And you've taken out the first heat here in the quarter midgets at Speedway. Congratulations to the 54C of Jackson Clark.
Starting off the front will be the 8B of Nick Davey out of the Hawke's Bay. Montana Jameson in the 17 car from row number 2. Nathan Bruff in the 12A from 3. And Cameron Soul, 97 from 4. Tyler Warnock in the 33 from 5. Jess Morris, car 47 from 6. James Thompson in the 82 Greymouth car from 7. Maya Nicholson 4N from grid number 8. Tim Yellowlees in the Valvoline 5 from 9. Bricky Brett in the 9 from 10. Marty Knight in the 98 from 11. Regan Tyler 56 from 12. Aaron Findlay 38 from 13. Blake Findlay 83 from 14. Ethan Smith in the 91 from 15. Isabel Clark in the 7 from 16. From 17 Jamie Booth. 18 Will Pilcher. 19 Sean Shilton. 20 Jaden Corkill. And starting from the back will be Jonty Austin.
Yeah, it's an impressive side, isn't it, AJ? All these TQs racing for the BT Race for Mates. Montana Jameson, who won a feature race here just recently, got a very good grid draw in this early heat race. It'll be great to see if she can get herself up to the podium. And Tyler Warnock, he's the guy to watch out for, the Wanna Dig 33C, the blue and white car. Certainly watch him. He'll be making his way through the field for sure.
Yeah, Montana, probably one of the most popular race wins at Ruapuna this season. She is starting on the outside of the front row. It's clean, we've gone green, and it's Montana Jameson in the Gemmett's Power Tool Services 17 that's got the start. Oh boy, she's starting to put some real distance on Cameron Soul in the 97 car, who is sitting there in second, and then sitting nicely in third is the 8 of Nick Davey in that 8 car, making a big charge around the top side, the 56 of Regan Tyler. Remember, he won last year's BT for Mates TQ feature race, and Tyler's already moved up into 4th spot. A big hard charge for him from grid number 12, but it is still Montana Jameson, Cameron Soul, and the 8 machine of Nick Davey commanding the top 3. Here comes Tyler, big run from him in the 56 car. He goes low, he goes high, and he comes out into 3rd spot. And we go back to Jess Morris in the 47, and Tyler Warnock in the Wanna Dig 33, just starting to flex his muscles, as is the former New Zealand champion in the 9 car, Ricky Brett. And Brett, boy, he started a fair way back in the field too, so all eyes will be on Ricky Brett in the Melrose 9 machine. No holding Montana Jameson back. Little bit of a scuffle went on. Looks like we've lost the 8 car of Nick Davey, who's looking so promising, but it's Montana Jameson, Regan Tyler, Cameron Soul looking very settled in the 3rd spot. 4 laps to go next time by the MPD 100% Fuels start-finish line here at the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge, Ruapuna Speedway. Tyler Warnock, oh, we've got one up and over. That was the 9 of Brett. You just see a hole developing at the entrance to turn number 1. Brett got into it, got sideways on.
Yeah, Ricky Brett typically likes the rough tracks, and he just got that car all pressured up, and it had nowhere to go. All the momentum had to go somewhere, and of course it flipped up as he caught a rut there. But luckily, not too bad there, AJ. Didn't take any other cars out, but how good is this Regan Tyler from the North Island? He's absolutely flying.
Well, he took the BT for Mates TQ feature by storm last season, and he was a relative unknown to most of us down here on the mainland. But oh boy, he is super impressive. The double file restart, and Montana Jameson, boy, she is going to be in for a real old scrap there. Ethan Smith in the 91 car. He's another one that he's had a really solid season here at Ruapuna, and currently sitting there in around about 6th spot.
Yeah, Ethan certainly has his eye on this particular race. Bryce Townsend, very meaningful to the Smith family, of course, and it's Ethan Smith who's probably driven as well as anybody this year. Certainly got a lot of power on that TQ of his, and he's in a pretty good position to make some moves. And of course, Montana Jameson, hasn't her form come right towards the end of the field here? She's certainly been one of the very quick quarter midget drivers many years ago, and this car is really coming on this season. Watch out for the 17C.
Yeah, absolutely right. She was an absolute standout a good number of years ago in the quarter midgets, and yeah, sort of almost like journeyman-like in the TQs for several seasons. But boy, she has really come on song. Her father, Mark Jameson, former New Zealand solo champion, turning the wrenches on that machine. Looks unfortunately they've got to hook the 9 car of Ricky Brett onto the push truck.
Yeah, former New Zealand champion, as AJ's already said. Ricky Brett come back into TQ racing this year after a few seasons off, and has gone particularly well. Took out a feature race recently, And it's sad to see that car taken off. Hopefully they can get it fixed up for that next race coming up a little later in the afternoon. But what a sight, all these TQs on the field, and good to see some pretty good racing, even though the track's slightly challenging at the moment, AJ.
Yeah, it is, and we're sort of up there looking around at the weather before, and we are encircled with some of this very low cloud, just hoping the wind sort of plays its hand in this, because that's what we need, is some wind to blow it away, not blow it in this direction.
So it looks like we've got the Melrose Motorsport TQ into the infield. Once we get that all settled, we'll get the green flag up and running. And these 750cc Suzuki-powered TQs will make their way around the Ruapuna Oval.
Yeah, big challenge in front of Montana Jameson. Can she hold out Regan Tyler? The hard-charging Tyler in the 56 car out of Kihi. And he's certainly brought some form down. Green flag flies again. Good start by Jameson. She's going to run out a little bit wide around the possible issue there going into turn number 1 and 2, but Tyler, boy, big old drag race going on between these two. Tyler carried a lot of momentum into the Stadium Finance corner, takes over the lead. So it's Regan Tyler, Montana and Jameson. Then we go back to Ethan Smith. Smith challenging Jameson for that second spot now. Boy, what a big challenge it is as well. Ethan Smith down low, just trying to move Montana Jameson out of the way. And the Altherm 91 car, boy, throwing out a real challenge. Do not ride off Tyler Warnock in the Wanna-Dig 33 machine. Currently sitting there in that 4th spot, just waiting for an opportunity. Perfectly weighted move by Smith. Gets himself up into the 3rd position. But Regan Tyler is gone like the proverbial robber's dog. At the front of the field, white flag, 1 more lap to go. First TQ race of the evening. And it's Regan Tyler, Ethan Smith, Montana Jameson still clinging to that 3rd spot. But Tyler Warnock throwing everything at it, including the kitchen sink. He's going to come up short. The dash for the line. Regan Tyler takes win. Ethan Smith 2nd, Montana Jameson 3rd, Tyler Warnock 4th, and rounding out the top 5 as Ethan Smith's car stops in a big cloud of steam down there. Boy, he was certainly running it hard, wasn't he?
Yeah, didn't catch that one, AJ. Just seeing Ethan's car there expired. It looks like it's blown a radiator, I would imagine, but certainly jumping out with what appears to be some burns. Certainly some hot water being spilled everywhere, I would imagine. But good to see Ethan out of that car. But let's get back to our winner, Regan Tyler. What an impressive win that was from our North Island flyer. 16.17 seconds. This is the lap time. That happened to be the quickest lap time as well. Ethan Smith got past the finish line before that car really expired. So well done to you. 16.29 seconds. And Montana Jameson, congratulations. You did hang on to 3rd. You'll be slightly disappointed, but good to see that you made it onto the podium in that race. So let's give it up for Regan Tyler. Well, AJ, it really is starting to feel like Thunderdome here at the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge, Ruapuna Speedway. For those that really like their sprint car racing, Harrisville provided some excellent racing in the weekend, and it was Jonathan Allard and Stephen Taylor. Stephen's a crowd favourite down here, absolutely duking it out in the country racetrack of Ohakia, Palmerston North, and we expect to see pretty good things here tonight.
Certainly going to be fast. It is going to be furious. Quick change to the program. The sprint car heat races are over 12 laps. 12 laps, the distance for all of the sprint car Grand Prix heat races. No feature race for the sprint cars tonight. Of course, it's all heat race action. And the midgets, their 30-lap feature race later in the evening, likewise the TQs. But for sprint cars, each of the teams will get 3 heat races. That's going to keep them busy.
Well, there's plenty of action here tonight, plenty of classes racing and plenty of sprint car racing that seems to be so popular here at Ruapuna. Good to see Daniel Thomas here, the 55 car just over the back straight there. Of course, the last time we seen Daniel here, he took out the New Zealand Sprint Car Championship, a very prestigious win for him. The other cars to watch out for, of course, we've talked about Jonathan Allard, our 4A car. Of course, we often see him with the USA numbers on his car, but one of the champions here for sure. Just a few hot laps here, folks, to get some engine temperature into these sprint cars. Well, just a few hot laps there, folks. Get some engine temperature and get used to the track. Some of those North Islanders would appreciate a few laps around here at the Thunderdome for sure. Just looking at the hot laps there, Zach Sokol, 13.99. And it looks like we've got Oscar Harcourt with a very similar time there. So Oscar Harcourt providing the fastest lap in hot laps there, 13.99. And then in actual fact, Michael Pickens, 13.68 seconds. So we're used to Michael Pickens certainly putting the throttle down, and watch out for that 54 CRC car. He'll be making his way through the field for sure.
Yeah, great to see some drivers here that we haven't seen a lot of. But Paul Donovan, he's made appearances here on and off for a long, long time, making the big trip down from Napier. A great guy, Paul, and he's driving that cool chassis machine created by Kiwi John Cooley, who made a big name for himself in Australia and manufacturing cars up in the USA. John now lives in New Zealand. How good to have Jacob McIntyre here. Living proof that the cars can tow from the bottom of the South Island to the middle of the South Island. He is the sole flag flyer for the Cromwell and Invercargill Brigade, and this guy is obviously learning lots racing with such a big field. That's what it's all about. You want to test yourself, put yourself up against the best. Sean Ashton in the 73 car. Sean, bit of a part-time racer with no disrespect at all. Won the Salute to Goody a number of years back, but business commitments, he gets pretty tied up and says, I'll race the car when I can, and when he does, he always puts on a whale of a show.
Well, this is setting up to be an absolutely explosive heat race with a couple of our local guys at the front who are pretty quick, but got all the very fast guns just in behind. Watch out for early passes here, folks. It's the first heat of the sprint cars here at Speed Week this week.
Here we go, folks. It's time the flag flew for the first heat race of the 41st New Zealand Sprint Car Grand Prix. Race leader Sean Ashton, down the back chute behind him Connor Rangi. Then we've got Jacob McIntyre, Jonathan Allard, And behind him, the 55 of Daniel Thomas. Thomas, oh boy, threading the needle. Close and personal with Allard. Allard on a mission. Oh, McIntyre gets sideways on. That's going to bunch them up. It was Zach Socko, very much the innocent party of that one. Got all sideways on, lost a few spots. Sean Action Ashton leading the way. Oh boy, he's running the wheels off the Complete Automotive 73 car. Breathing down his neck is Connor Rangi in the Dalton's 57. Then when we go back to Jonathan Allard, sitting in third, Daniel Thomas, Oscar Harcourt. Harcourt putting in some good solid laps, sitting there in that fifth spot. Some of the big boys got some work to do to get among the points. 4 laps down, it's still Sean Ashton. Look at the two Dalton's cars. They're certainly starting to apply some real pressure. The compost is about to fly. Second and third spots held down by Connor Rangi and Jonathan Allard, but it's still Sean Ashton. Rangi starting to go up the racetrack, looking for a little bit more drive up there. Ashton sitting down low, yellow comes on. It was Zach Sokol and Paul Donovan getting in some strife down there in the We Buy Cars Town Bend. How good has Sean Ashton been?
That's how we like it, Ruapuna. Sean Ashton absolutely leading out this field. He's driving the race of his life. And did you watch Jamie Duff and Michael Pickens going toe-to-toe? Jamie Duff giving the big right rear and said, "You're not coming past me," and managed to secure his position again. What a great start this is to Speed Week, AJ. The sprint cars providing it for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the charge of the lightning fast brigade. They get themselves sorted out, and these are the nights that the likes of Rangi and Duff and so on, the local boys absolutely love testing themselves up against the best.
Well, Daniel Thomas providing us with the best lap time so far, 13.7. Expect that time to go down significantly tonight. Can Sean Ashton hold on to this lead that he's got here in the first heat of sprint cars of Speed Week?
Here we go. Flashing light out. Green flag about to fly again. Heat number 1. Avon Insurance New Zealand Sprint Car Grand Prix. Let's turn them loose. Allard sees the gap down low, and it closed just as quickly as it's opened. So he's still in behind Connor Rangi. It's Ashton, Rangi, Allard. They're the first 3. Rangi trying the hide line. He's now going to try and look to cut down under Ashton. Ashton, a very experienced campaigner. He's not going to have a bar of that. So it's Sean Ashton, Connor Rangi again, winding up around the top side. There's only one way to go around Ashton, and that's up high. Allard saw the gap. Jonathan Allard, it was just the shortest blink of a gap. Oh, Connor Rangi went in there 100 mile an hour. Just tagged Ashton, got it up onto the front wheel, brought it back down. Laps counting down quickly. Jonathan Allard, Sean Ashton and Connor Rangi, they're the front 3. Daniel Thomas sitting there in 4th. Jacob McIntyre in 5th. Then we go back to Oscar Harcourt. And here's the Duff and the Duff and Pickens battle waging again. Boy, those two are feeding themselves. It's a feeding frenzy of bright rears. White flag, 1 more to go. Jonathan Allard. Sean Ashton still hanging on to that second spot. Connor Rangi, he's thrown everything at it. Hasn't managed to make anything work. Allard takes a win. Ashton's going to be second. What a drive from him. Third goes to the 57 of Connor Rangi. And 4th spot, Daniel Thomas. Jacob McIntyre in 5th. Then we go back to Oscar Harcourt, Jamie Duff, Michael Pickens, Ryan O'Connor, Zach Sokol, Paul Donovan, and the Caleb Bourne, the 95 car of Caleb Bourne, sitting there forlornly. Didn't fire a shot. But what do you think of that, Ruapuna? Jonathan Allard, give the man a sniff, and he is going to take it. Sean Ashton from Leaston in 2nd, and in 3rd from Springston, Connor Rangi. Another big shout out, our old mate Kevin Proctor tuning in
Hey.
on the live stream from somewhere in Australia. I think Kevin and Joyce are doing a little bit of tripping around, but
Yep.
KP, a great, one of the great midget car names, great speedway names from Ruapuna from
he?
back in the 70s. And he doesn't miss a beat. He knows everything that's going on. Such is the strength of the streaming. So if you're enjoying tonight's stream, wherever you are in the world, welcome to Ruapuna Speedway here in Christchurch, New Zealand, night 1 of the Speed Week.
Yeah, certainly late in the season, and 4 meetings to go in the next week or so. And the advantage of this is that the track conditions are probably going to be quite drivey over the next 3 or 4 meetings, and we're most likely to get some pretty good lap times as that track settles down. So as AJ said before, we've got some hot laps coming up for these sprint car drivers. Good to get some temperature in to the motors, and for the North Islanders have a early look at the track. And track holding up pretty good, actually, AJ. A couple of dry spots there, but I think we're going to be pretty good for the night.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know, the good thing is that we don't have that beating sun down here. Sort of the weather in Christchurch, a couple of extremes, very hot in the summer, not so hot in the winter. But yeah, they breed them tough down here. Just waiting for the green flag to fly for their hot lap session.
Okay, just a quick update on Ricky Brett. He'll be up and running for the next TQ race. No problems at all there for Ricky Brett.